and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. But if you're new here, I'm Sam and I do all things Disney. So if you love Disney just as much as I do, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Completely free to you guys. Just click on the little red button and join my little Disney community. So today we are actually talking about something a little bit different. It kind of is Disney involved, but it's how we actually purchase for our Disney loungeflies. Now, I wanted to do this video a long time ago, but I wasn't quite sure if people was really interested. But to my surprise, a lot of people are interested, and it's kind of like a big taboo and a big problem for so many. So I just thought I would put this little video out there to maybe help people on when you come to buy your loungeflies is using KLARNA. So KLARNA is a payment method where you can pay in 3 or you can pay in 30 days. Now, I've used this in the past many occasions, and can I tell you something, that it is addictive? The reason I'm saying this is because when you have got a addiction, so when you are purchasing your Disney loungefly bags or anything to do with Disney or anything at all really, if you have got that addiction and you have got that payment method, it can be really tempting to, if you haven't got the funds already, then to click on the button on KLARNA, and then you can just pay in 30 days or just pay in 3. So today I'm going to be giving you some 5 factors on why we shouldn't be using KLARNA when it comes to our Disney loungefly addiction. But I just want to clarify that I am not saying that KLARNA is bad in any way. I'm not saying that they are just trying to get people into debt or anything like that. This is purely for loungefly only. I know that they do lots of things for different companies and help people if they can't afford it straight away, and it does work for a lot of people. So in no way am I trying to shame them in any way. This is purely my opinion on why I don't use it and why I feel other people shouldn't use it when it comes to loungefly addictions. So guys, as many of you know, that I love my loungefly and you love your loungefly as well if you are watching this, more than likely, and you more than likely have got a Disney addiction or you've got a loungefly addiction or anything like that. So I just thought it'd be a really good idea just to put this video out there, so if you are thinking about using KLARNA, is how we could use it sensibly or not use it at all. So the first thing I would say, and is what I found, is that when it comes to KLARNA, there is no limitations. So if you are paying it on time, you are making sure that you are not getting into financial difficulties with it, that's absolutely fine. But in some cases, if you get signed up to KLARNA, they will give you sometimes not a limitation on how much you can spend. I've done this mistake before, guys, and I've racked up over £700 worth of loungefly debt onto my KLARNA, and I can tell you now, it takes months to pay off. And when it comes to KLARNA not giving you any limitations of how much you can spend, it just racks up and up and up, because when you've got a Disney addiction or a loungefly addiction, when a new release comes out, you want it, obviously. And for me, I want it for my channel. I want to make sure that I've showing it to you guys. But I've learned that KLARNA is not the way to go, because there is no limitations. I've not found a limitation anyway. Let me know in the comments if there is a limitation. But KLARNA will just let me continuous paying and paying and paying and paying for stuff, and then you have to pay it back. And it's not good when you have to paying it back, guys, because the time you're paying it back, you're wanting more of this Disney stuff. So it's just not a very good thing to get that cycle in. Okay, so when we are talking about KLARNA, a lot of people say that they do not credit search you. Now, this is incorrect, because every time you're wanting to pay for something in 30 days, they will do a soft search on your credit report. If you go onto, not Experian, but if you go onto, I think it's Equifax, you will see all of the soft searches they have actually done on every transaction you wanted to do in 30 days. So always take that into consideration when you are trying to look after your credit report. I do know soft searches don't affect it, but they are there, and you can have hundreds and hundreds of these soft searches from Klarna, and it doesn't look good on your credit report if you've got so many soft searches going out every single week. It's just not that good. So always take that into consideration, that they will soft search you if you are wanting to do something within 30 days. So if you don't want to pay it for another 30 days, they will soft search you, unfortunately. But I don't think they soft search you if you're wanting to pay in 3, because you have to pay your first payment straight away. But just take that into consideration, that if you are wanting to pay in 30 days, that they will soft search you. The next thing why I don't want people to use it, my opinion, is purely because that you will get yourself into financial debt if you buy this stuff and you have full intention of paying it back, but then when it comes to the crunch and having to pay it back, it's difficult sometimes. I've had it before, you know, I'm no superhero, where I've racked up quite a lot of money on my Klarna, and then all of the payments are kind of due on the same week, and you think, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay all this? So I've really learned that not to do it. Just don't pay through Klarna, because I know that I'm going to have to pay that within 30 days or in 3 or anything like that. And then if you haven't got that money, it does leave a negative impact on your credit file, guys. Because I do know that people will say, oh, use Klarna, they don't credit check you. Oh, they don't put anything on your credit if you don't pay it. They do, guys. If you don't pay it, and you don't pay it for a number of weeks or whatever, you do get a charge as well if you don't pay it, and you also get a negative impact on your file. Luckily, I've never missed a payment, so I've not got that far into the debt process, but I know people it has affected, and you need to look after your credit, obviously, and you don't want to get yourself into debt for loungefly especially, or any kind of merchandise you are paying for. You don't want to be getting yourself into debt. So it's just a word of caution that if you are using it, don't rack up a massive debt, but it can be difficult when it's available at all times for you. And another thing I just want to touch on when it comes to Klarna is that you can buy things without even wanting them, because you have got kind of like accessible credit at any time. You could buy whatever you want at any time. You'll go, oh, I like that, I'll buy that, and then when it comes, you're like, oh, I don't really like that. You end up sending it back or reselling it, and that can be silly, really, if you don't actually want it. So if you are going to use it, make sure you're actually wanting the item before you actually purchase it, because if you sit on it for a couple of days, think about it, do you actually want it, before you actually make that purchase when it comes through to Klarna, because like I've said, they will soft search you. It is putting more debt on yourself, and you will have to repay it. So always make sure that you kind of think before you make that purchase. Unlike anything, really, not just when you're going through Klarna, but you've just got to really make sure that you are thinking before you're purchasing, because I know what it's like if you've got credit available, especially when it comes to Klarna. It's so easy to purchase things on Klarna. It's quite scary. So make sure that you are focused and you really want that item before you take that plunge. Okay guys, they are kind of like my top 5 tips on why you shouldn't really use it, but also if you are going to be using it, is using it safely and more wisely. For me, I do use it occasionally if it's a really lot of money and I can't afford it all at once, but I'll always make sure I pay it in 3, not in 30 days, and I'll probably maybe use it once a month now, or once every 2 months. I've not actually used it in over 8 week, I think it is now, because I'm not that focused in buying stuff off it anymore, because I know there is a limitation and trap when it comes to Klarna, and I know how addictive it can be. So guys, I hope this has kind of helped you in a sense. It's kind of helped me as well, of like refreshing things of what I've kind of learnt through using Klarna. I've used Klarna for over a year now, and I've gone through the bad stage and I'm coming through to kind of the decent stage now. But I just kind of want to make people aware that there is kind of like root of out of it. Just don't buy it anymore. You can actually ring Klarna themselves if you want to, and they'll put a cap on your spending, so you don't have to spend anymore until your credit is right down. It can be hard if those temptations are there, but I do hope this has really helped you guys, and kind of like give you some guidance on it a bit if you didn't know a lot about it, especially when it comes to the loungefly community. There is so many loungefly companies what provide you with Klarna now, and I wonder why, to be honest. Purely maybe because they know that there's so many loungefly lovers out there, and not everyone owns a bank. So they use these payment methods to encourage people to use Klarna and help them kind of like get a purchase, but also helps the consumer to pay it in 3 or in 30 days. But it can be dangerous, guys, so I'm just kind of putting this out there just to help you along if you can't do it. So yes, I hope it's really enjoyed you. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.